Good, happy Thursday morning, June 24, 2021. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Thursday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Thursday morning, so let's begin. First up, Amber Alert triggered by scam call, Manchester police say. Scammer told victim mother, son were in danger, investigators say. Let's take a listen to that video from Wmur News 9, Charisse LeClaire.
Tractor has been in our family since 1955, when great-grandfather Pearlie and our grandfather George decided to sell tractors out of...
Yesterday's Amber Alert sent officers into action and had private citizens keeping an eye out for a mother and her young son. Police say a close friend of the mother was concerned, and there was even word that the people involved were part of a drug cartel. Now they say it was a phone scam. The Attorney General's office has seen an uptick in these calls, especially throughout the pandemic, but the one described in this scenario, they say, is more unusual than the typical ones they see.
Where victims are contacted by individuals posing as people from Social Security offices or the IRS, or pretending to be law enforcement and requesting cash or gift cards or things of that nature.
Retired Major with the New Hampshire State Police, John Encarnacio, runs a law enforcement consulting firm now. He says don't let the speed and anxiety of these scam calls catch you off guard.
Slow down, put your phone number on the do not call list. That stops it and prevents a lot of calls, these robocalls. When you get these hang-up...
If you ever get a call you're unsure about, police say stay on the line and use another device to text or email the family member in question to verify they're safe. If that's not available, write down a phone number and give it to someone else who can call for you. Now, if you do find yourself in a situation where you have given out your financial information, you can try to call your bank as quickly as possible to try to stop that payment, and then police say to give them a call. Live in Manchester, I'm Charisse LeClaire, Wmur News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Former Seabrook State Representative charged with threatening Senator Maggie Hassan. Let's take a listen to that video from Wmur News 9.
Their reviews? Our reviews.
I'm so happy.
Find out what we're all about at adamvroofing.com.
And then once the day of the visit, he called the store to let us know that he was on his way.
According to court paperwork, police stopped 66-year-old Richard Morris in his vehicle May 4th, right after that call, and arrested him for criminal threatening and disorderly conduct, alerted by employees of the co-op to things he'd allegedly been saying days earlier.
Just things along the lines, she just needed to be taken out, something needs to be done. If somebody doesn't do something, I need to take it into my own hands. Once that started, we started getting a little bit more concerned, especially closer to the visit day.
Morris was a state rep from Seabrook in the early 2000s. Co-op employees say he'd been stopping by their store for months, going on about the government not doing enough for the fishing industry.
As his rant continued to progress, threats started to get a little deeper, more serious. He also started chasing some of our customers in and out of the store, just continuing the rants. Even I had to kick him off the grounds once just because it was just getting too deep.
She says police made him leave on a few occasions. A spokesperson says Senator Hassan is grateful for the law enforcement officers who handled this matter and for the work that law enforcement does every day to keep our communities safe. She has confidence in our justice system to handle this case appropriately. According to court documents, Morris was held overnight and released after his arraignment the next day. Stipulations of his release are that he have no contact with Senator Hassan or anyone here at the co-op. In Seabrook, Jennifer Crompton, WMUR News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Community mourns death of 15-year-old who drowned Sunday in Bedford. Teenager's uncle, Rep. Chris Pappas, provided words honoring his nephew. Let's take a listen to that video from Wmur News 9.
Their reviews? Our reviews.
I'm so happy.
Find out what we're all about at adamvroofing.com.
An entire community is mourning the loss of this 15-year-old, and now we're hearing from that teenager's uncle, Congressman Chris Pappas. In a series of tweets, he said in part, there are no words to describe the magnitude of the loss of this amazing 15-year-old and what he meant to all who knew and loved him. 15-year-old Charlie Zink's obituary says the rising Bedford High 10th grader loved basketball, dreamed of becoming a world-famous roller coaster designer, and had a thirst for knowledge. Investigators say he was playing on a rope swing with friends at Sebbins Pond in Bedford Sunday when he landed in the water, surfaced briefly, and then went under. Representative Annie Custer also saying in a statement today, we have reached out to support Chris and his family during this tragic time. We urge respect for the family's privacy and compassion for their loss in the coming days. Authorities are still investigating, but they do believe the drowning was accidental. Reporting live, Monica Hernandez, WMUR.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. COVID-19 testing, vaccinations at several medical facilities being scaled back as demand decreases. Increases in testing, vaccines will be available if needed, officials say. Let's take a listen to that video from Wmur News 9.
Mainly Tubs is celebrating 43 years. Join their anniversary sales celebration with great deals on world-class relaxation products, like free saltwater system upgrades on their salt.
As the number of people seeking a COVID test and vaccines continues to go down, Elliott Hospital will be relying on their urgent care centers and primary care providers to accommodate patients.
Because some of the regulations regarding storage has changed, we are planning on offering the vaccines, the COVID vaccination in every office.
Memorial Hospital in North Conway is also making changes.
COVID is here to stay, regardless of surge or not surge. We need to start to bring it into our daily operations at some level.
Starting July 5th, only symptomatic patients will be tested for the virus in the Memorial Emergency Department, and the hospital's vaccine clinic will be open just one day a week.
So it will be on Wednesdays, 8 to 4. And it will allow walk-ins. We'll still offer Pfizer as our primary, but we'll still have Moderna and at times J&J.
And at Littleton Regional Hospital, vaccine and testing appointments will be moved to their urgent care starting the first full week in July.
Certainly once school starts, we don't know what testing requirements will look like then. So we'll be ready to stand all of that back up. We actually said we would keep it in place probably until minimum next year at this time when we have a better understanding of what our future needs may be.
Both Elliott and Memorial Hospital say the exact same thing. They will increase availability to testing and vaccines when needed. Reporting live in Bedford tonight, Kristen Carosa, WMUR News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Health officials find rare link between heart inflammation in adolescents and COVID-19 vaccinations. Doctors say benefits of vaccine still clearly outweigh the risk. Let's take a listen to that video from Wmur News 9.
Step back in time, high above New Hampshire's Lakes region, at Castle in the Clouds. Explore the 1914.
Available data to date suggest a likely association of myocarditis/pericarditis with mRNA vaccination in adolescents and young adults.
The CDC Advisory Committee discussing their findings around the COVID-19 vaccine and inflammation of the heart muscle and lining around the heart, known as myocarditis and pericarditis. The symptoms can include chest pain, pressure and discomfort, or shortness of breath or palpitations. They say the cases are mostly seen in young males within a few days of the second COVID-19 vaccine dose.
We're observing this in younger age groups. Mainly in people in the teens and early 20s, and observing it more in males compared to females.
They don't know why it appears more in males than females, and they say most people they've studied recover from symptoms and are doing well. The average length of a hospital stay is just 1 day. Doctors say myocarditis is not new and it is rare. Reports show 4.7 cases per million mRNA vaccine doses in females compared to 32 cases per million doses in males.
You can see that the rates are higher for both vaccines after dose 2 and in the combined analysis. However, this is still a rare event. For both vaccines combined, 12.6 cases per million doses administered.
And again, the CDC Advisory Committee says the benefits still clearly outweigh the risks for COVID vaccinations for young adults, and they'll continue to monitor this issue for long-term outcomes. In studio, Jessica Miranda, Wmur News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Wmur General Manager Jeff Bartlett retiring after more than 40 years in television industry. Tributes, congratulations poured in from across the country. Let's take a listen to that video from Wmur News 9.
As we ease back into life with friends and family, Mahindra is here to help on the good days and the tough ones. So visit whymahindra.com and build your tough tractor.
Well, today at WMUR, we are celebrating the closing days of a remarkable career in broadcasting.
WMUR General Manager Jeff Bartlett is retiring after 2 decades at the helm of the station here in the Granite State and another 20-plus years prior to that in the television industry. WMUR Political Director Adam Sexton gives us a look at the heartfelt send-off.
WMUR is saying farewell to General Manager Jeff Bartlett, who arrived at the station 2 decades ago with an eye on improving everything.
You made us better, Jeff. Better producers, better managers. You gave us confidence, and then you let us fly.
Leading through 5 first-in-the-nation primaries and all kinds of disasters and emergencies, Bartlett always kept the focus on news and community service.
Working with Jeff, through the pandemic, we talk very frequently, and he very casually said, yeah, we did a food bank telethon. I think it was about $2 million. Just very yeah, that's what we do here. It's all good. And I stopped him. I said, what? That's incredible.
He maintained high standards and high spirits.
His good nature, his self-confidence, never let on a hint of ego. He never big-footed anyone. He never saw credit for all the great work all of us have done over the past 20 years. That is what a great leader does.
Even in his farewell speech, he wanted to shine the spotlight on the station, not himself.
Everybody here, really, really works hard. Up to their ability, and sometimes well beyond. And that's not me, that's them.
After 40 years in the business, tributes poured in from around the country, including ABC's David Wmur.
You've helped build a news powerhouse and a station that cares about community. And for that, we are all grateful. Congratulations on your retirement. You have earned it.
Adam Sexton, WMUR News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. We will certainly miss him. Congratulations on your retirement, Jeff. Biden announces steps against rising gun violence. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
Mr. Benedict, we have our tea. Hello?
I'm the aforementioned President Biden before the cameras late today addressing the surge in violent crime across the U.S. 32 cities reporting a rise in homicides and assaults. The president saying we have an opportunity to keep each other safe, adding enough. Mary Bruce at the White House, what the president proposed late today.
With crime surging around the country and under increasing pressure to act, President Biden today pledging to tackle this head on.
We have an opportunity to come together now as Democrats and Republicans, as fellow Americans, to fulfill the first responsibility of government in our democracy, to keep each other safe. Enough.
32 cities have seen a rise in homicides and assaults so far this year. And when you look at some of the nation's biggest cities, homicides in New York up 13.5% since last year. Los Angeles up 22%, and Houston 24%.
As we emerge from this pandemic, with the country opening back up again, the traditional summer spike may even be more pronounced than it usually would be.
His plan to crack down on gun dealers who break the law, redirect billions of dollars in COVID relief funding to help local police departments, and invest in community intervention programs. Republicans are trying to blame Democrats for the rise in crime, as some Democrats are now stressing their own law and order credentials. In New York, Eric Adams, a former NYPD captain, so far in first place after yesterday's mayoral primary.
If we're going to turn around our economy, we have to make this city a safe city.
Now, the president says he will continue to push Congress to pass gun reforms, but we have seen little to no movement on the Hill on this. And realistically, there's only so much the president can do on his own. Asked tonight if he's still hopeful that Congress will act, the president said, quote, "I never give up hope." David.
Mary Bruce live at the White House tonight. Mary, thank you.
Hi, everyone. Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. Goodbye, everyone.